There's this Discord server I'm in that I consider to have the weirdest members I've ever seen. Usually people would love to have different opinions shared when they ask for different opinions. Not this server, no. They hate different opinions and would only like you if you share their thinking. They have this thing called an elimination poll, which is basically members voting out what they don't like. This one time a member disagreed with them. They decided they didn't like that member and shamed them for their different thoughts. That member is still in the server, but he is now silent. That member used their real name as their display name, which is Dick. Dick had always had different opinions from the other members when it comes to their fashion sense because he lives in a different place from the others. He doesn't shame their opinions, but they shamed his and called him weird. This one time, Dick had a disagreement with the other members and joked around about it. They hated it and called him Mr. Phallic Object. He has now put it in his pronoun section and it stayed with him forever, but other servers questioned him and he shared why he put that in his profile. Dick shared that the members are toxic towards anyone who dislikes what they like and would treat newcomers like viruses unless they share the same opinion. This was proven to be true when another member was shamed and verbally abused for not knowing something that isn't common knowledge. This member is called Prometia. Prometia doesn't know something the members deemed common knowledge. I'm going to expose what fandom it is right now. It's the Winx Club server. They hated Prometia and called them names for not seeing the show as they see it. Prometia didn't know that Winx Club is a fashion-focused show. Honestly, watching it now, I won't know either if they never told. The show doesn't feel fashion-focused, as Prometia had said. One of the members, Atlas, twisted their words and said Prometia was denying the show was fashion-focused. Why am I just talking about these two? They were the only ones I could get in contact with on Discord about this. Another user, who I'll be calling Ishayla, said that he left the server because the members are bullies who pick on victims who can't defend themselves. He hated that server and left. That's not the only problem. They're allowed to question your choice in the elimination polls, but once you question their choices, suddenly you're a bully who can't understand different people have different opinions. Potbliss shared his story in my server and promptly left after he left the text. Honestly, I know there are worse servers out there, but this is the worst I've experienced so far. I remember how those members talk to newcomers and how they hate different opinions. It's frustrating to think about when they claim to be a wholesome Discord server for all fans to join for the fun, when in reality, all they want is to create a hive mind of their own. They want to find people who would agree with them with their body and souls. They won't ever see that they're the problems with the server and how it creates a toxic environment for the other members. They are honestly the worst. That was the text left by Potbliss. If they had left the text before I talked to Dick and Prometia, I probably would have just brushed it off. But since I received this after I contact the other two, it's hard to ignore. I don't know what cult they're trying to create, but it sounds terrifying. Imagine being told you're wrong and the only thing you should believe are the things the members told you. I'm pretty sure that's one of the traits of a cult. I don't know what they're trying to do, but to be told you should only believe what they told you, to only think like them, that's a cult. One of the instances is when they were voting for the characters' outfits. Dick had yet another disagreement and said that the outfit that one looked bad and nobody would wear it where he is from. Prefix, a member, shamed Dick and said it is glad it didn't live where Dick is. Prefix continued by saying the people where Dick lives have terrible fashion sense and they shouldn't even be seen in public, how they are a disgrace to the world of fashion. This is how far they are willing to go. Dick was obviously disgusted with this behavior and stopped talking to that member. What was confirmed was that most members worship Bloom. They would shame those who said Bloom was too focused on. According to Ishayla, Potbliss was shamed and called a hater for asking if Aisha's blue enchantix was changed to green because blue was Bloom's color. He was called a hater for asking. Potbliss called them out for calling anyone who asks them questions a hater. One of the members hurriedly covered up by saying they weren't referring to Potbliss, but the one who circulated the rumor. But by then, Potbliss knew the truth. He knew they thought he believed this silly little rumor. Pramisha shared how they thought Aisha's blue Enchantix was more beautiful than her green Enchantix. This immediately had members jumping at them saying they're blind and how wrong they are. Pramisha has tried to keep their opinions out of conversation since. It's hard to please those people at all. I haven't heard much from them since, but just recently, Dick reached out to tell me how one of their members had talked about women being oppressed and Amber Heard was one of them. Prince Charming, the member, said that Amber Heard was a beaten woman and thus can't be an abuser. Even though the members disagree with Prince Charming, they did nothing to stop them. Other members tried to shut this person down, but the older members did nothing about it. Prince Charming is one of their most vocal members when it comes to Bloom haters, so they can't afford to lose them. Speaking of Prince Charming, they will fight you by saying Winx Club is all about Bloom and that's the way it should be. They claimed the show was created just for Bloom and Bloom alone, how the other girls are irrelevant. If you've actually watched the show, you would see that it's not true at all. The show centers around 6 girls, 5 in the first season and 6 starting from season 2. But recently, since season 5, Bloom has been getting the spotlight more and more. Of course, people will always argue that Bloom is the only main character, even though the show is about 6 fairies. That's as much as I can share for now. I've actually have a lot of plans in the future. But for now, this is it.